This is Visions Under Construction, a chance for our guests to share their visions and tell us what they're working on. For their continued support, we would like to thank Simwood, straight-talking, forward-thinking telecoms. Simwood.com. Why not make Cloudonics your communication partner? Go to cloudonics.io. You can find everything about the VUC at vuc.me, thanks to Bluehost, and thanks also to zipdx.com, the conference bridge, and to voxphone.com for local rate dial-ins. And speaking of, oops, can't hear myself. All right, let me turn this up. Speaking of Simwood, thanks to Simwood. Did you get one of these, Andy?
I have one of those indeed. I washed it out a minute ago. It's dry.
I've got to switch my, okay. Once again, I almost had it right. Oh, that's the Hangouts has to be over to, all right, excuse me, folks, for talking to myself. Display audio, headphones built in, and we're good.
And you need to let Corrado in as well.
Ah, yes, Corrado will be unmuted. He will be shown in the broadcast. There's a lot of things going on here. And we're going to show Corrado what he missed, among other things. But Diana, you're here. Let's hear about your news right before we go to the CommCon debriefing. You should go see your website, right? Why should they go see your website?
I don't know, because it's pretty.
But she's obsessed with marketing these days.
Yes, absolutely.
Nothing wrong with that. That's how you make money.
It's not just about making money. It's about actually making technology that actually serves to someone.
Mm-hmm.
I spent more than 10 years making technology, and it's been used by tens of millions of people around the world. But I want to make technology that is even more useful, you know? And if I don't actually get to understand what people need, I will just do things that are irrelevant.
There's a very famous line, I think it's in a movie, but it could have been from a book. It said, nothing happens until somebody sells something. Because until somebody sells it, it's not in use and there's no reason for it to exist.
Yes, but it's not just about the sale himself. The sale is just the effect of the fact that people actually need that. Someone needs that. And, you know, I'm just actually more and more interested in understanding what's the need on the market. I can continue to develop technology that may actually, like I said, become irrelevant just because I wasn't paying attention to what other people need. And what's the point then? What's the point of making something if nobody needs it?
As I sometimes say, a solution in search of a problem.
No. That's just no.
Just no?
Here's the source of that quote. It was Thomas J. Watson, founder of IBM.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Nothing happens in business until something gets sold.
So, for example, I can tell you how Yates started. It was actually very specifically a need of, I was working for a telecom company, and we basically needed a soft switch. And we basically needed a soft switch with very cheap hardware. And Asterisk was the cheap hardware, but it was not a soft switch. And now we ended up with 8 because we're very specifically trying to fill a need. And everything we added in 8 was because we're trying very specifically to fill a need. However, we probably missed to serve the need of many people, if it makes any sense. because we probably didn't understood very well what they needed.
Takes market research to understand the void that you're trying to fill and deliver a solution for which there is an audience or a market.
Yeah. And that's actually quite interesting. It seems to be even more interesting these days for me than technology. Technology, it's cool, but it's even better to do technology, useful technology, you know?
There's a lot of psychology in it because it's all about people.
Well, yeah, but, you know, I'm open-minded and open to learn. So the whole story with the website is that that's just a small part of what we actually did. We reorganized the entire internal system of the company. We reorganized all the databases. We reorganized a bunch of other internal resources, and the website is just a part of it. We reorganized our marketing strategy and a bunch of other things. And that also includes some of our products. So the site is just the last piece that you get to see. So for example, if you go on the website, right now, one of the things that you will notice is that we have a very obvious chat. But another thing is that, especially on the first page, if you look at the news area, you see like if you go left and right, if you go with the mouse over the news area, you're gonna see like two arrows, one for left and right, and you can scroll through left and right arrows, for example. Doesn't make any sense?
It's a slider.
Yes, but that slider actually gets the news from the Twitter account. It's not
a beautiful thing.
Yes, it's basically an RSS from the Twitter account, but that's because we are trying to be significantly more engaged into the social media. Because we discover, without us even noticing, that we have a lot of followers on social media. Actually, a significant number. We also discovered that we have a lot of followers on our website that have subscribed to get push notifications and a bunch of other things. And we also discovered that our documentation website is actually quite popular, and that the Yate forum is quite popular, and that users are actually using Yate BTS in all kinds of different ways that we never expected. So, you know, we're trying to become more aware and actually drive the technology more toward people than rather trying to drive people toward technology. So there is a lot of that going on there. I was kind of boring. I get that. It's much more excited if you are in my skin, but
I'm transferring, downloading a bunch of videos, so I'm having. Oh no! Wait a minute. Looking for a video here. So I'm expecting other people to help us out here.
Okay. Sorry, Diana. We actually do want to talk about CommCon from this last week. We can come back to Yate BTS later on if you wish.
Go ahead.
But so for the last week or so, in fact, from sort of Monday through to today, several of us, about 100 of us, of the persons here present, Mr. Randy Resnick and myself and James is not here. Yeah, but he's not here, so he's not here present. He's conspicuous by his absence. He's been lots of times this week. Have been shut in a hotel, a wonderful hotel, Wooden House Hotel in Surrey, in the south of the UK, with no particular remit other than talks and chatting about real-time communications in two particular tracks. So there was a complete WebRTC track and a separate VoIP track, which was all interesting stuff. I didn't go to any of the WebRTC tracks at all, I'm afraid. I sat there playing with a 4G cell most of the week. So I'm going to have to rely completely on you, Randy, for anything WebRTC. But
yeah, I'm all about WebRTC.
Yeah, I know you are. Your JavaScript is awesome.
Let me turn it over to. So we're just going to screw around and show a bunch of photos and stuff. But before we do that, I mean, not before. We're going to start with the flyover. Did I say Leslie or did one of us say Leslie? It's Lindsay.
Yeah.
Who said Leslie? Me or you?
It wasn't me.
Because I keep thinking Leslie too, but it's Lindsay. And I have a photo of that match. But before we do that, let's go to this. Now, I don't know if there's any sound on this. I've got the sound off, so we'll just. This is Tim's. He just sent me to him. If I was speaking German. And I think if I do this, we'll see it. There it is. All right. So this is Tim's drone taking off. You'll see the grounds, which is nice of the hotel.
Oh, it's nice wide video as well.
Look at that. Lovely. You can see the little ball. I'm going to show you more of that in a second. The funny. It looks around. It's going to look over to the hotel or the building in a moment. So let's see. Those are we don't know what it is, but it's where people get married a lot. I haven't seen this, by the way, so I'm looking at it for the first time with you. Turning over to the fake deer in the middle. Now moving to the, what do you call the ball thing? Somebody?
It's a Zorb.
Zorb, the Zorb. I did it. James did it too. And I've got a shot of somebody else doing it in just a second. Okay.
So this hotel has something like 8.5 acres of grounds, I think.
Amazing.
And it's an incredibly long drive from the main road,
AKA the pub.
Yeah.
And there it is.
So those large two green things there, the sunshades, if you like, was the main gathering place of an evening. Strange enough, that's just outside the bar.
Isn't that funny? And I think that the drone probably ends here. Let me see if I can find add movies. All right, so that was that one. Now we move to, and since I just got home, this is not easy to plan out. Oh, it was desktop, sorry. Here's something, I don't know what it is, but I'll tell you when I see it. Here we go.
Careful now.
Yeah, I read it. It might be the porn that I collected earlier. Let's see. No, that wasn't that. So it must be this. Or could it be this? Oh, come on.
Well, it's a nice picture to look at.
Yeah, well, it is. That's that. What is this? Come on. There we go. Oh,
it's sideways.
Ripey. And that's the lovely Mira. Okay, I didn't edit this, so it's sideways. I'm sorry. I don't think there's a good way to fix this, but that is what it is. Let me move to the next thing, which would be this one. Oh, that doesn't work that way.
Do you know, Mira's not falling off the planet? Oh, this is such a shame. So it's the falconry.
And it's the slow motion, yeah. If somebody's willing to talk for a while, and James Bodie just left the chat room. Let me try to write these things so that they make sense, because that doesn't, obviously. And go ahead with whatever else we can talk about until I fix this stuff, okay?
Well,
good, because you can't really see. This is great. The Falcon, it's long. So let me get to the end here. You'll see the final swoop. Oh, we missed it. Look at this guy.
So this was a peregrine falcon.
I'll fix this in a second. I just need a little time to do it. It takes time.
Clearly in slow-mo and very, very, very impressive.
Yeah, that was cool.
So the flying display was just a peregrine falcon, but we also had, what do we have? European eagle owl. We had a barn owl and a Harris Hawk, and they were wonderful. And you can get really up close, and the eagle owl, you could even stroke the eagle owl. Weighs 2.5 kilos. That's quite a weight for a bird. 6 pounds. I think that's a lot for a bird. Have you ever done any falconry at all, anybody? Corrado?
No.
I bet Diana has.
I had a parrot.
You had a parrot.
Not the same.
Not quite the same, no.
Well, very big beak that snap in half any nut you could pass to him. So, yeah, pretty dangerous anyway.
Yeah, probably almost more dangerous, the beak on a parrot, I would think, than on a hawk. It's the talons on the hawk, so you've got to watch.
Yeah, the beak with a probably a scissor movement. Yeah, that could literally take your finger off.
Yeah, we don't want that, do we?
No. I need them.
Yeah, so the falconry was really interesting, but hardly part of the actual show itself. That was evening entertainment. So I need to look up and see what talks I'm supposed to be talking about here. I'm really not ready for this. None of us are. It's complete rubbish.
Well, we all just got home. So talks about talks while we try to get this video in so that it looks like something. All right, I think I've almost got it. Falconry, the slow motion falconry thing is actually pretty good. It's worth making that. I don't know how long it'll take to.
Well, if you do that, I'll have a bit of a chat. I mean, big thanks to Dan Jenkins for organising it all. It was absolutely superb. So, round of applause to Dan Jenkins. Yep. Thank you, Dan.
Agreed.
So, from a VoIP perspective, most, or if not all, of the various open source implementations of different aspects were there, and we had Matt Fredrickson talking about Asterisk 16, what's new and what's up and coming. Michael Jerris came over from Detroit to talk about FreeSwitch,
and apparently he's engaged.
Sorry,
he's engaged, right?
Michael Jerris.
Oh, wrong, Michael. Sorry, go ahead.
Michael Jerris has been married for a number of years, I think.
Forget it.
Yeah.
Not him. It's the other Michael. You got to tell him about the engagement thing.
Well, why have I got to tell him about the engagement thing? I think it's harassment.
Yeah, so, it is.
Yeah, no, says Dan. Absolutely not. We're not going to talk about that.
Okay.
And then we had talks from Daniel Constantin Miele about CamElio. I don't know who gave the talk on Open SIPs, but there was a talk on Open SIPs.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you fall asleep during the Daniel presentation?
No, because with CamElio World just gone, I didn't see it.
Sorry.
And that's very unkind. Daniel's presentation has improved a lot. He is much better at it now than he was a while ago. Who did Open SIPs? Razvan. I don't know who Razvan is, actually.
It's definitely a Romanian.
Okay. Sorry, I need to cough. So somebody else say something for a minute.
If you would, I'd love to know, I'm seeing in some pictures in the Twitterverse, how at the end, there was like silver, gold community. What was going on there? Dan was doing some kind of a wrap up.
Yeah, that was the sponsors. So that there were some silver, gold, platinum sponsors. Unsurprisingly, Simwood was the platinum sponsor, as they usually are. Mr. Woodhead, very generous man. And he did a nice talk on some of their infrastructure, and their internal infrastructure is extremely interesting, well put together, and frankly, pretty clever.
I agree. I've got a quick shot of the Falcon gentleman. This is Roger, by the way. It's not great resolution, but if I can figure out how to start it. This was interesting, I thought. There we go. This is Roger doing a little demo, and I've cut it down way down. Look at this guy. Ooh. Of course, we missed. Yeah, nice editing, Randy. But he's coming back. Don't worry. Oh,
he wants his tea.
there we go. Look at the sky, and that's it. All right. Well, that was not too exciting. Sorry about that.
You probably have to be there, but it is extremely impressive.
A lot of fun. A lot of fun. We also have. I'm trying to find the end of the Jenga, and I'm not finding that for some reason. Oops. But here is. Okay, this is what is this? Oh, this is a photo that I need to download. Okay, which I probably already did. This is 9:30. Okay, here we go. Let's try this. Yeah, I know it's very.
Well, Randy, this is nothing because we see a black screen. Ah, okay.
Yeah, hold on. It's coming. If I could only. There we go. Okay, so we need to get
Ethan Weiner.
Yeah, but we need to get. I need to find the 9:30. Coming. This is all without a net. Here's the 9:30. So this would be. Get rid of that. I don't even know what this is. Oh, crap. I don't know why it looked right when I. Well, it probably doesn't matter with this.
Oh, it's rolling downhill. Whoa.
That's James. You can't hear the sound. Well, I'll put a little bit of
left, James, left. North. The other left.
Who's breathing? Is that me breathing? He's the one doing the work.
Military left.
Military left. I think you get the idea. You know, it's not necessarily. But almost done. If we could get him climbing out of the space capsule, that'll be worth it.
Here he comes. Now get the hang of it.
I'm sorry, when I play these, they're right side up, but for some reason in Cam Twist.
Wait. Don't let him out.
Don't let him out.
He's got odd socks on.
James. All right, look at this.
Quick, give us your impressions.
Okay, anyway, that's that.
The new slimline Mr. James Boding.
That's it. And what else? I have not found the Jenga, but as I think Tim or somebody said, the winner was Zoa, or it was Zoa, Zoa, I think was it Zoa or Eric?
It was either Zoa or Eric Klein.
It wasn't. It was not Lindsay. So that was that last thing. I did not know about that game. So
yeah, she
it's a fun game.
She slacked a bit, didn't she?
Yeah, she was a slacker.
Yeah.
No, I as I repeated on social media a number of times, we had more women at this conference than any I've ever been to. The woman from Facebook, very interesting. I had a long and very interesting discussion with her, and I don't know how to pronounce her name. Sorry, but she was originally working on the algorithm and the news feed, so you can imagine we did have quite a discussion about that. And she was encouraging me to go back to Facebook because they've made a lot of changes. Yeah. And she's working on Messenger now is the main point, because all of these guys, including James, Andy, and Corrado, you're not on Facebook Messenger, I'll bet.
Practically no. I am a ghost presence.
You are? Ah, okay, ghost presence. Well.
Yeah, I shy away from Facebook Messenger, but I can't completely abandon it.
Yeah, it would be nice to. Oh, wait a minute. What is Dan saying? Don't do the thing that Razvan did open SIPs. What was all that about? Is anybody following that?
I didn't see that either, I'm afraid. But we mustn't leave out the other open source things that were there. So Lorenzo Meniero with Janice, of course.
Yeah. And Homer.
And Homer 7. The latest upcoming Homer, which seems to have come leaps and bounds forwards in the last little while. I know the development team has expanded somewhat, so that's hardly a surprise. And one that I did not have not heard of before, and I didn't see the presentation because it was in the WebRTC track, which is Dractio. So that's a Node.js-based middleware framework for building SIP applications. So it essentially Camelio for WebRTC, which is an interesting area, I would think.
And that was done by Dave Horton.
Yes.
And I'm going to look that up. But first, here's a photo that appeared on Twitter with the caption, "My eyes are up here, honey." Me, by the way, not her. But anyway, because Allison's looking at the cheesecake. Anyway, multiple levels of absurdity. Why don't we just go through a few? There's the cheesecake in question.
Oh, look, a picture of food.
Exciting stuff. There's Allison's. Now, Allison's presentation was actually very, very good, and I wish that the people who needed to hear this would have been in earshot, but probably most of the people there maybe were not. She did speak to somebody, and she's going to be connecting. I can't reveal any names, of course, but she will be connecting with someone who probably does need that service. She's more of a consultant now than even just the voice talent, because what she said was so right on. I mean, everybody would agree. It's nauseating when you have more than 5 choices, or your IVR doesn't put the priority stuff first. She mentioned one example that is great, which is that there was like, if you want to do this, touch 5, and if you want to do this, touch 4. And at the end, it says, if you're looking for emergency services, please call 911. And there's like a minute between those 2 areas. So, and lots of Allison shots, because you never know where it's going to be any good. This is I'm struggling for the name. Andy, help me out.
That is Stephen. I can't remember.
Stephen, but a very good talk, and yeah, I can't remember. Okay, next, go through some of the photos. That's that thing again, and we all know Matthew from Matrix, and Amandine was there. I didn't get a shot of her. I don't like to harass the ladies at the conferences. We want them to feel safe. But Matthew showed some very interesting stuff. He did a demo of that. I'm going to have to reinstall that client one of these days. Riot. But good to see him. They've been very busy. They've been selected, I think it's no secret, by the French government which concerns me directly, because they've been spying on me for 30 years. They trying to be funny, but I don't think it's actually working. All right, Matthew. This is nice. I call this nature does not like straight lines. This is out between the pub and the Watton House Hotel.
You didn't go to the pub and
lots
spend lots of Cloudonics money?
About 4 times, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a shot of the pub too. Look at these lanes, though. If you ever wanted to go someplace and say, "This is England," okay? This is Surrey.
Indeed, the leafy lanes of Surrey.
Wonderful place. That is the pub. There were a bunch of people there. I talked to, because I am the magnet, I, of course, spoke to women. They came towards me, and I gratified them with some of my speech. But this was a bunch of people coming to, they were actually running in. I don't know if you saw this, Andy. They were actually running in from a footpath. And many of them were soaking wet with sweat. But they were unfortunately celebrating the life of a gentleman who died last year. But you can see this is a traditional, well, not a traditional pub, but it calls itself a pub. It's a restaurant. Okay, next.
You really must unmute and show the person who's just joined us.
Okay, wait a minute. Oh, that would be a Mr.
Daniel Jenkins.
Oh, sorry. All right, Dan wants to correct maybe some of the. Look at this. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. This.
I couldn't listen anymore. I needed to come and help you.
Yeah, you need
Help us out.
Good. We did ask you to, but you told me you were asleep. So.
Well, I was, but anyway. What did I miss?
You didn't miss a huge amount of it. James, James isn't talking about anything. Randy's talking about the pub.
Well, except
Oh, yeah.
we're looking now at Tim's droids that are trying.
Yeah, so Tim did a workshop with Dr. Lucy Rogers. It was an amazing workshop, and people had to make these drone type things using Raspberry Pis and some kits from Pi Morani, I think it was, who kind of helped out with costs and things like that. So thank you to them. And yeah, you connected from using pipe in between the drone and your browser, and then you went and collected loads of QR codes. And absolutely everyone that did that workshop absolutely loved it. It was about 2.5 hours, and rave reviews.
Okay, we actually have tons of photos, and hopefully they're in somewhat of an order. There's a couple of the droids. Oh, there's sound too. Do I have the sound on? Yeah.
And I mean, the Wi-Fi was like good enough to be able to handle all of this. Like, I think there were seven or eight drone type things on the floor, all connected via the Wi-Fi, all sending video. And being controlled, and the Wi-Fi at the venue was absolutely amazing.
And was that the venue Wi-Fi, or was that something dropped in for the event?
No, it was venue Wi-Fi.
And I have to say, overall, internet connectivity was fine throughout the event.
Oh, it was more than fine. It was exemplary. It was better than I've ever been to. Let's go through just real quick. Here is that same workshop just to keep the continuity and the coherence going. So there's Matt Fredrickson, and there's Tim. I don't know the gentleman's name just to the right of another person that I can't. The Spanish.
So that's Tim, Iñaki. I think that's Guy from Vonage and Matt Fredrickson, I think.
And this was one team. The next team has Allison. Go ahead. I'll let you narrate it, Dan.
Jamie Chapman from Nexmo, Cesare from Nexmo, Neil from Nexmo. Nexmo were amazing, by the way. They came in at the last minute and kind of helped out with some sponsorship for me. And we're expecting very little in return. So,
and let us note that Allison has a handbag that looks like candies that some people have reached for at different occasions, including me. Okay, I don't know these,
but yeah, we don't have to go through all the pictures from like, naming everyone.
Especially that's Alex.
That's Dr. Alex, WebRTC guru. Doing awesome things with a project called Kite with Cosmo, and Lorenzo's next to him, and they managed to. I'm pretty sure they managed to break completely their stuff. These folks
I don't know.
These folks are from NTA and Cool Stats. So yeah, a huge mix and fun had by all.
Absolutely. There's another.
Was Tim's workshop videoed? Is it one of the sessions like the rest of them?
Yeah. So the beginning of it is recorded, but the actual workshop itself isn't. And it's the same with the other workshops. So the beginning of Nir's talk, the beginning of Nir's workshop is recorded, but not the actual workship itself.
Okay. Now this is Lindsay from Slack. I can't quite tell who the other person is, but she gave a talk, one of the talks about their video chat. She's a total new face to me, and she's one of the younger. If I am the oldest person there, she may well be the youngest person there. She's a delightful personality, and she is definitely intellectually someone to contend with. She's a very bright person, so I hope that we'll be seeing more of her.
Right. I mean, all the pictures just kind of show most of these people had never met each other.
Yep.
Yet they're all in teams working together, and I think that kind of shows what the special thing about CommCon,
and then
the fact that all of these different people didn't know each other yet, had an amazing time, and left knowing each other, and more than just a name. We all go to events and people know each other by name, but little more.
And then there's this gentleman,
James Bodie, who talked for 2.5 hours.
Yeah. And he was really concerned about talking for 2.5 hours. I don't see why James would be concerned about such a thing. He's quite used to talking to about 2.5 hours.
He did pull it off. Let's continue here.
Right.
We're back to the. I just want to go through this real quick because there's tons of photos, but they all do show that obviously everybody was having a great time. That's Simon from Simwood, Simon Woodhead, the Sipgate guys, David Duffett from Digium. Some of the other people that we saw. You can see Guy in the back. You can see the there's a guy named Dan Jenkins back there. You can barely see back near the camera. Neil Stratford is there. The other people are a little hard to see, but the point is, you can tell that these guys are not bored, right? I mean, everybody was really having a terrific time, and we're in Dorking, ladies and gentlemen. Dorking out.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about the amazing room that we had dinner in the first night.
There's it probably will be in this sequence, although it's not in order. Okay. Didn't have time. I just got home. I'm not even dressed. Yeah. I do not have trousers. I do not have trousers on because I'm further away than you. So this is Lindsay. Right before her talk. That is. Wait, who is that? That's Boris from Jitsi. And this is a perfect example. I mean, I've known Boris for years, but I've never met him. So I went up and thanked him for all that he did with the VUC. And, Jitsi's done pretty amazing stuff too. So that was fantastic. Now, as for the venue, we may have a shot of the chapel and all that, Dan, coming up. This is the outdoors of the venue. So a couple of quick shots that, snapshots basically that I took to show my wife, hey, we're really in a hotel. This is a good one. I like this. This is on the way to the, Andy?
The public house.
The public house, footpath. This is actually a pretty good shot. I should put this up on Unsplash in case anyone wants a royalty-free shot of a footpath. Although the footpaths in England, never mind. You have to climb over the thing, and then the farmer will likely not be pleased to see you, but that is a sign there saying.
And you do have right of way, and the farmer cannot throw you off.
Indeed, but you are not get a warm reception, probably. And that's the second. All right, here we go. This is it's coming up, the next one for the chapel. This is the fireplace of the chapel, but this is where we had the first meal, correct? Or am I crazy?
Yeah, and sitting down on those chairs was a right pain, Dan. You should have had tables.
Yeah, well, they changed all those chairs around, obviously. But the venue was absolutely amazing. And if you climb up the hill on the footpath, you'll see this. Okay, so there's another one. If only I could have. All right, this pleased everybody. This was a real cloud. Yeah, get right. You hear what I did there? Did you hear what I did there? Cloud pleaser. That's perfect for this audience. 8 3/4 miles per hour. Yes, they do this to make sure that get your attention. And
that's my dinner.
That's a ring doorbell. Okay. Hey. Oh, look at this. Now we've got here's Mira right side up. I don't know how that happened. Not that it's fascinating. Are you leaving, Dan? You have to go?
In a minute. Okay. But I mean, just before I go,
sure.
So every single talk was recorded, other than maybe 2 of them where we had some AV issues. Those videos are already up on YouTube. So if you're interested, go and search CommCon on YouTube.
It's actually easy if you search CommCon space UK.
Okay, CommCon space UK.
Oh, okay.
And then click the button that says subscribe, because basically I need 100 subscribers to be I need 100 subscribers to be able to get a nice URL so that people can find it easier.
We'll make that happen.
So everyone go and subscribe. But basically,
You went from 2 subscribers on Monday to about 60 today, I think.
Currently 67, so another 33 required, and there are 34 videos there as well.
We'll make it happen.
So just a quick mention of like the AB team were amazing.
Absolutely.
So they recorded everything and got it all up online straight away. There are very, very few conferences out there that live stream every single session and then have them available for people to go and watch free of charge straight away. So so absolutely amazing. And exactly what I wanted. So the AB team were amazing. And then the content was great, but more importantly, and I this is why I kind of came on. I wanted to reiterate kind of my vision for the conference. People who watch the VUC should already know my vision because I came on and spoke about it twice. But basically, I wanted people to go and speak to people that they normally wouldn't speak to. We all go to conferences and we've all got our own little groups, and then we go out for dinner afterwards, and we don't meet new people anymore, which is a little strange. With CommCon, we were all in the same place, enjoying amazing food, enjoying an amazing venue with great activities. And I can guarantee you, 99% of people met one person, 3 people, 5 people that they would never have met before. They wouldn't have. They might have like handshaked them at another conference, but they actually sat down and talked and got to know one another. And I think that's absolutely amazing. So yeah, thanks to everyone that was there. And people should go and watch the talks.
I can extend that, Dan, to say that there were several people there who I have known over the years and shaken hands with and known and seen at conferences briefly, who I was able to talk to more extensively and build a much more deep relationship. I mean, what you're saying is very, very true. It sounds trite to people who weren't there, but there was a lot of bonding type activity going on, and you're understanding people more. These connections are really, really, really important, because one day or another, even if you don't have a reason to be connected to people now, unlike all these superficial stuff on LinkedIn and Facebook, there will be a time when you'll be happy to say, we met at CommCon. Remember in 2018? That was the first one. Yeah, that was great, wasn't it? But it wasn't as good as 2019. That's what they're going to say, right?
So yeah. So just before I go, everyone said, yeah, we should do it again. So if to be able to do it again, I'd love to do it again.
Sponsors.
To make it happen, I need sponsors.
Yeah.
It's a labor of love, and I don't make a profit out of it. That's not the goal. The goal is to kind of break even and give something back to the community that I love. So I'd absolutely love to be able to do it again next year. And if you're interested, absolutely send me an email. There's an email address on the CommCon website. Send me an email, and hopefully there'll be one next year. Watch this space.
Well, I think you've created a number of evangelists, dare I say, even apostles, that have believed and really gone into your vision, and we would support you wholeheartedly in that.
Yep.
Thank you all. I gotta go.
Okay, Dan. You take care. Get back to your family and do what you got.
Thanks.
See you.
Bye.
Then. Bye.
We're just going to continue in my totally amateur's fashion to go through the slides, and then we maybe talk about other things, but let's go through this. Let me get through this, because I do have a lot of great photos. We're probably almost done anyway, but just it was such a good time, really. So these are the grounds. Oh, look, it's Mr. Bodie, Mr. Smith, and Mrs. Smith.
Well, there we go. It happens occasionally. Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. That's been done before.
That has been done before. And by the way, we have to say something bad about something, right? those the lunch at the bar.
This was Monday, right? Yes, this before the conference started. Yes,
the lunch at the bar was not nearly up to scratch, but good company makes up for it. Next, okay, grounds, more grounds. All right, that's the. You know, this is a photo that I took of the sidewalk. Somebody drew this thing. We won't say what it is, but I was going to entitle this shot "Primitive Man." It has nothing to do with CommCon or the UK. It's here in Bordeaux. I saw it and I thought, oh, this is funny. I'm going to label this "Primitive Man." And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let me move over to oh god, I can't find the control now. The camera. Would that be this? All right, let's stop that. Move. Oh. Yeah, I know it's shocking. Move off of Cam Twist to this, which is the direct camera view. And now you are looking at the HD Randy. By the way, my badge said Randy, so I had to do the old thing of going up to everybody and saying, I'm Randy. And then everybody else saying, so am I. Enough. Corrado, you unmuted. What do you have to say for yourself? You did not show up, not even for a minute?
I couldn't. I had an emergency on Wednesday, 2 emergencies, in fact, to attend. So if I was there, it would have been a nightmare.
And we get that.
I will be heavily involved in next year's because I want to be there and I want that to happen again. And I will help as much as I can.
As a matter of fact, you will be a sponsor. That's...
It's quite possible. It's quite possible.
Well, you could at least bring your, a lot of people. I don't know if they were all sponsors. The T-shirts or the little. What do you call that general? The name for the stuff you give away? I can never remember the name of that.
Always.
What is it?
Tat usually.
Oh, really? No, Michael. What do you call the stuff that people give away at the conferences?
Swag.
I can't think of the name.
Yeah, swag.
Yeah. And it's part among the swag, Simwood, they are a sponsor of the VEC.
Which is not Tat, by the way.
What's that?
No.
That is not Tat.
I don't know what tat means, but
swag. Oh, tat, rubbish.
Well, as far as swag goes, my microphone is lower and lower some. But Simon and his team, first of all, they actually obviously hire a graphic artist to design their stuff. You like it or you don't like it, but it's obviously professionally designed. This is a terrific thermos. I've tested it tonight, and I can tell you that it is excellent. They also had coffee cups there. Their T-shirt, personally, I think that's one of the best T-shirts that anybody's ever offered. I don't have it on now because I've got now don't let me go up too high because I'm not wearing anything underneath. The CommCon T-shirt.
Oh my goodness, there's a Mr. Bodie who can't get in.
Yes, he will be in. I just need to do this. And he should have a Mr. Evan with him.
Oh, I'm hoping he does.
What? No, he looks grave and... What's going on, Mr. Bodie? Come in. You're muted, of course. You need to unmute.
Very pensive.
You need to unmute.
Yeah, I'm muted. There we go.
Okay,
hello, good evening.
How are you? You just missed the entire whatever of CommCon.
Right. I was having a little snooze actually.
Do you have a house guest?
Yes.
And where is he?
But he's due to arrive in about 5 minutes.
He's not sleeping?
No.
Okay. So we all were, quite
enthusing.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a good verb for that. Dan joined us briefly. You missed Diana, your, fantasy team, SIP team member.
F-Range Networks.
You missed Diana. She left. And anyway, Dan is highly encouraged and motivated to do another year. Corrado has stated publicly that he probably will try to get there.
No, I will be there. I want to be there, and I'll probably, if the purse is big enough, be a minor sponsor. But I want to be there.
All sponsors are welcome, minor, major. Maybe the VUC. Oh, wait a minute. We can't because we get our sponsorship from somebody and then we transfer it over to somebody else. That wouldn't work. But hopefully Simwood will be a sponsor again. They're a major sponsor and they do great stuff. Yep. Let me reiterate that this is terrific.
It looks like a club, doesn't it?
It does, but it can serve as a club, but it is also a delicious beverage. Except it's empty. And it works. I tested it just now.
Good.
Your water stayed cold.
It did. It wasn't water. Just hint. But it did stay cold. Oh, I should say I wanted to have the label here, and I wanted to do this while Dan was with us, but I have adopted a new drink.
What is
Jameson's.
that?
Or is it Jameson?
It's Jameson.
Jameson Irish whiskey. I specifically asked my wife because I thought they may have had it on sale at our place we go to shop. They do not. But I tested it with Allison's husband, Pete, last night.
Jameson's lovely stuff.
Yes, it's smooth. They didn't have it at the hotel, so I tried Bushmills, and I can tell you Jameson's is much better.
Jameson's is a slightly different flavor.
Well, it's smoother.
They're different grades, too. You should try, if you're doing Bushmills, you should try Black Bush, which is their little older one.
Sounds like
Black
some
Bush.
kind of presidential scandal to me. I don't know. Anyway, yeah.
That's very true.
Actually, Jameson.
They have a ring.
Sorry.
Yeah, Randy is not a whiskey drinker.
Sorry, I am now. I'm an Irish whiskey drinker now.
Yeah, we started him off on Kilbeggan, which I happen to have there, and now he's graduated to Jameson. So Kilbeggan's quite very, very light.
That was good. That was excellent, by the way.
Yeah, but Jameson's has more flavor.
But it's light. It's. I mean, it's smooth. You don't because people love Scotch. They go on and on about it. I have never tasted a Scotch that doesn't burn in the mouth. That doesn't.
Oh yeah, I mean
you got to get used to it. I get it, but
can I suggest you try Highland Park then?
You know that Corrado. I used to live in Highland Park, not the one you're talking about, but I will make a note.
A good Speyside is Highland Park. If you stay on the Speyside whiskies, they are quite rounded and not that strong. If you go on the west side, like Isla's or other that are very much stronger, you can feel the salt from the ocean. No, you might not like them.
Welcome
to This Week in Scotch, TWIS.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there are others. I think. I think you. I'm not certain that you would like this, but I had some Lafroig, which is very peaty, of course, but it's not heavy.
Well, there's a problem though so I discovered the Jameson. We went to the pub. We had Jameson. It was great, but there are several grades of Jameson too, and I don't know. Some of them are actually very pricey. Jameson is not the cheapest of Irish whiskeys either, but the other ones, there's, reserve this and there's, select that. So I don't know about any of that. In Highland Park, just to be specific, are there different grades that one needs to be aware of or?
Age, especially 15, 18 years old. But if you look at the picture there, you can see a certificate of ownership of a square foot of Islay in the name of the Prince of Lafroig.
In all fairness, Corrado, we see a lot of things. One is a big reflection of what looks like the sun on the door, and then there's something black and white, and there's a kind of a rainbow thermometer.
Yeah, I can't go further.
You're talking about the thing that is in black and white, and that has a couple of Well, we obviously can't read that, but
not enough definition. I can't go closer with your webcam.
All right, this is This Week in Scotch. So let's get everybody's preferences. What, Michael?
What do you drink if
you have your
in my late 20s? In my late 20s and early 30s, I took a fancy for Irish whiskey. There wasn't a whole lot of selection where I was. but I like Jameson's. There were a couple different grades. I can't remember what they are. I have some here actually. I didn't mind Bushmills. I preferred Blackbush to sip. But what we did in my little group back then was we made Irish coffee. And Irish coffee is a recipe for disaster. It's like the Irish version of tequila, more or less, in that you get the alcohol, you get the sugar, you get the caffeine. You end up at 4 a.m. drunk and dangerous. It was an interesting time.
What Pete and I agreed on, or mentioned separately though, because I shared a cab with Allison and Pete this morning, and Pete said, "Wow, it's interesting. What's interesting is you don't feel anything the next day." So that's excellent. So I'll have to check out all these new horizons, because the next day is crucial sometimes. You may have to perform. You may have to do something. You may have to go service Corrado's clients. You never know what you got to do.
Exactly. And that, guys, sorry, apologies, but I really need to leave sharp because I have 15 minutes drive and I need to be 15 minutes where I must be.
And raise a glass to all of us, Corrado, when you have a chance. Okay?
I'm going to a gin tasting, so I will.
Perfect. Sim Smith for the win.
Probably.
Corrado, great to see you. I'm holding you to that. Next year, you'll be there. If you're there, I will be there. I don't know how, but I'll get there.
I'll try.
Take care.
Cheers.
Good evening.
Yeah. We've actually managed to fill an hour full of rubbish.
Oh, so we have.
That makes us like any major media.
Yeah, true.
It does.
Well, the only difference between us and major media is we didn't mention the T word, meaning something to do with the administration of the United States. And I do not say that name, so please don't.
Any relation to Nelly the elephant at all?
No. James, you came in late, so anything to say for yourself? We showed you getting out of the space capsule / what are those things called?
Zorbs.
The Zorb. You got out of the Zorb. James, you need to unmute. We should actually wait for Evan because he can do another hour, right? James, unmute, please.
Well, I think this is cool.
Can't do that for you.
There we are. I'm muted.
Thank you. Michael, what are you showing here? Training course.
These are going to be slides that are shown at ClueCon in a month's time. They're basically, I'm replicating what I did for CommCon in that there was a sponsor loop that was playing on the monitor in a lot of cases, and that was what I did for them. So, and here's the interesting thing. This is actually playing on a laptop that's not physically connected to the computer that's actually going into the Hangout. And so what I've discovered is for Windows users, there's a way of doing, let's put it this way, a way of aggregating video streams into a Hangout that doesn't involve spending any money. The only problem is it's Windows specific, but so you can basically, here's the gotcha. Let's say you're in a video service which for whatever reason doesn't allow you to do desktop sharing. This little trick will allow you to flip between a webcam and a shared desktop with using only some free software utilities. That's kind of cool. Yeah, neither here nor there.
So, Michael, what did you think of the quality of the AV from CommCon?
Very good. And I was particularly impressed with the fact that they had, for the WebRTC panel discussion, they had all the guys properly mic'd up. I don't know whether they were wireless or wired, but everybody was properly mic'd up. There was no passing the wand around.
They were all wireless.
Yeah, these guys, they knew their stuff. They did it right. Excellent job.
Yep, and in general, provided people didn't wander around too much, they got all the mixed minuses and everything right as well. So
this was great. I'm gonna be tempted to cut this off as far as the video goes because we're actually over an hour, incredibly. So
and as ZipDX, we have only Robert. Hey, Robert.
Hello, Robert.
Oh yes.
So, I'm just going to cut this off with a little wink of the eye, which is going to be that. Good night, all.